Hi YouTube. Usually I tend to write these things down, but I just went on a run to the top of some castle ruins in Murakami Shi, Niigata Ken, and I thought I'd address some questions that I got, first of which being, can I make a quick video about where I've been placed? Yes. This is Murakami. This place is kind of stunning, even though sometimes we get pretty nasty pollution from China, and we're also not that far, like a mountain range or so away from Fukushima. Still, just amazing. This is the castle that I ran up to. This is the 1 week where the cherry blossom trees are in bloom. Sakura ga saku. It's something else. But I thought I'd take this opportunity to talk a little bit about one, my placement, which you just saw. Two, what is a regular day at school for me like? And three, are there any cultural things that foreigners should be aware of? I guess I'll start with three, and which is, man, it's hard to say. It's going to vary between places you go, I would imagine, but for me, it's been really little things like bathrooms here, they don't have paper towels, so you learn to bring stuff with you. Coins are worth a lot more than you expect them to be worth, like quarters of the most in the US. Here it's 500 yen, that's $5. They add up. They're very polite people. They will always tell you your Japanese is great. Always. And that's a lie. You'll get used to it. Then don't tend to say things directly. Like I was sitting down cross-legged on the ground changing my shoes at one of my schools, and somebody said, "Is that Brazilian style? We don't do that here. Aren't you worried your pants will get dirty?" So I take that as meaning stand the fuck up. I think the most direct thing that ever happened to me at school was that somebody asked me to grade a paper, and it was fine mostly. One of the teachers asked me to check the English on one of her tests that she was going to give, and I circled a few things, but like I've learned my English is not as good as I thought. There's a lot of like grammatical rules that I just don't know. I look at a sentence and I think, that doesn't sound quite as natural as it could, and I go off of that. So I told her one of her sentences would have sounded better if she had written it this other way, and she goes, "Oh, so Japanese textbooks and dictionaries are wrong." I think, okay, no, if they say differently, then I would trust them. And she says, "Oh no, you're the ALT." So I was like, okay, we're all good, and I went back to my desk. That's little things. They're super nice people. On multiple occasions, like I've been running, and they've up this hill, which is a massive hill, getting up to this castle, by the way. And they stopped to clap for me. Oh, it just makes my heart happy. Students will, because you're a foreigner, your face is easily recognizable. Students will see you on the streets and say hi to you, and then wave to you as you go up to, or as I went up to my apartment, for example. Today, actually, that happened. People like I went shopping, and they recognized me and asked me a couple of questions and said, "Oh, I seen you running," and I was like, "Oh yeah, hashiteru." And they're like, "Oh," and I paid for my stuff, and then they threw in a couple of extra things I thought that I should try. They're just so nice. I love it. It has been challenging. Some of the days have been challenging, especially at school, which I guess now I will address number two, which is a regular day for me consists of three things: going to class, of course, making lesson plans, and grading little papers and things like that. A busy day would be when you have 5 classes. That's a busy day. Or 6 classes. That's a busy day. On a not busy day, 1 or 2 classes. Although I've heard that other ALTs get as little as no classes. And that will happen sometimes when it's like exams week or something. But I actually got placed at a bit more of a competitive school, which is my base school, which is where my predecessor sort of broke contract and left. So I can't be sure, but I think that my workload might maybe be a little bit more than most ALTs. I try to get there about 8:10. I leave at just before 5 o'clock. And in terms of time, it's not that much, but honestly, I wish that there was a little bit more time in the day sometimes for me to just study Japanese, which I feel like there really hasn't been. But on the other hand, I'm a new ALT, and I'm still getting used to my whole schedule. Um, but yeah, my advice is find a routine that works for you. For me, it's getting up early and running, and then going to school, and then getting back from school and running, and then cooking, and then playing video games, and then sleeping. And on weekends, I study Japanese and go out, or if I go out the night before and get futsukayoi, which means hungover, then I will just sleep in and not do too much the next day at all. It's pretty sweet here. Um, anyway, please let me know if you guys have questions. I'll do my best, like I always say, to try to address them. So far I've gotten 3, and I think I've addressed those 3, but if I haven't, then leave comments and I'll see what I can do to answer them, either directly in the comments or in more videos. Anyway, pretty sweet. Take it easy.